What is going on, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So Palantir is pretty much at break even right now, although we are getting a nice move here on the intraday as I'm literally just starting, obviously, to make this video. You guys can see Palantir starting to break out on the intraday, but as of right now, it is slightly in the red, and earlier, I guess it was more in the red. So we have to break down the charts, do an update on what I'm doing, the charts here, where I see Palantir going, and we'll break down some other stocks later in the video if we have time. But first, hit that like button. Matter of fact, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join the free email stock newsletter if you guys want me to send you my top stocks weekly, and check out my Patreon for my portfolio updates. No pressure, just if you want. Those are linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into it. So like I said, guys, Palantir is making a big move on the intraday here, and we're actually taking out the highs from the last couple of hours as I'm making this video, which is good. Heading into the next, or the last rather, 2 hours of trading. You guys can see here, Palantir hit about 136.50 literally at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m., excuse me, East Coast time, and we also hit it at about 11:45 a.m., and now we're pushing through. We're pushing through after actually making higher lows. We hit about 135 here. We hit 135.50 here, and we're starting to now push out. So, and now look, lo and behold, we're green. There it goes, guys. We're green. So this on the intraday setting up perfectly, and obviously you're watching this later. The market's closed when you're watching this, but the way it's setting up now, heading into the last 2 hours, we're looking pretty good. And overall, guys, let me pull back the layers a bit here on the 5-day, 5-minute. What we see, yeah, I guess we did hit all-time highs yesterday, but what we're getting with today's price action kind of combined with what we saw in the latter half of the day yesterday, after the bell yesterday, and pre-market today, what we're seeing essentially is consolidation. So you'll remember, or you'll notice, and you'll remember if you watch these videos, what I'm about to say here, but you'll see 132 to 135-ish, that was resistance for a little bit, right? If I zoom in on this 4-hour time frame, we hit that point back in the beginning of May. So for a good month and a half, we were struggling up until yesterday. Literally, we were struggling to break 132 to 135. And lo and behold, we did it yesterday. And Palantir got all the way to 140, right? We got all the way to 140. And now with today's price action, today, the pre-market, yesterday after the bell, and a little bit in power hour yesterday, we have been consolidating above this old level, right, of resistance. We're holding it as support now. Notice, where have we been holding? 135 to 136. Where are we holding now? 136. Where are we getting the buying pressure to go green? 136. And again, 135, 136, that was the all-time high about a week ago. So the fact that we broke out of it is bullish, right? We hit a new all-time high yesterday. We're now holding it as support, starting to bounce off of it. That's bullish. So yeah, I mean, it's all looking pretty good here for PLTR. I mean, what more could you ask for at this point? You know, look at the charts, guys. They look phenomenal. And fundamentally, the company just keeps on getting stronger, right? We covered their earnings a couple weeks ago. The growth across the board, just all the metrics, they're crushing it, right? And the stock price is obviously reflecting that, right? So yeah, at this point, we're consolidating in the mid 130s. And, even if we were to stay here for a couple of days, I'd be cool with that. Because of how much the stock's up over the last couple of days, first of all. But that would be healthy as well, and I wouldn't be surprised now that we just hit a new all-time high. We might kind of chill in the low mid 130s a little bit, before we make that next move. And we'll see where it goes from there. But guys, Palantir, man, keeps on crushing it. And I'm now officially up on my position like 520% last I checked, which is insane, right? And when you have, in my case, a $20 or $21-ish, right around there, average cost, each like $5 to $10 the stock goes up from like 130 to 135. You got to realize on your average cost, which in this case my average cost is $20, each time the stock goes up $10, that's me adding like 50% gain, you know what I mean, or a return. So that's when you have a low average cost and the stock price gets to the hundreds, each $5-10 move, man, it really increases your return. And it's insane. It's insane, right? As opposed to, let's say you got in at 125 average cost, a $5-10 move doesn't really in share price. It's good, you're making money, but it doesn't move the needle as much as if your average cost is, let's say it's $10. Think about that. If your average cost is $10, guys, each time the stock goes up $10 a share, your returns are just exploding, right? It's insane. But yeah, obviously you can't buy every stock at a super low price, but when you get those multi-baggers, man, it's wild. It is wild, and Palantir is definitely one of those for me, as I'm sure it is for you guys as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Let me see what other stocks are moving out there today, guys. Looks like OKLO, oh my goodness, just broke over $70 a share. And I was thinking about this last night. I was going through some stocks at night, thinking of some trade ideas. I'm like, what can I potentially go short on right now? What could I buy some puts on? Because overall, a bunch of my stocks have been going up, right? No doubt. A bunch of the dips I bought in April, I'm up a lot on all those dips I bought, and now we're starting to see some stocks are just getting way ahead of themselves, in my opinion. And I'm like, okay, I'm up a lot on these longs. Let me look at some short opportunities here as the market is kind of getting hot, right? The VIX is low, not super low, but it hit 16 yesterday. I'm like, let me look at some short opportunities. And I'm looking at OKLO, not because I don't believe in the company or I want to, short it to zero, just because I think it's just simply ridiculously overbought right now. And today's rally just proves it even more, man. It's getting more overbought. Now we're over $70, 3% move, and this stock now officially has 10x'd since October. Yes, in about 8 months, this stock has 10x. So I think this stock, it could run a bit more, 75, $80 even. Man, if it hits 80, I'm definitely going to buy puts. I'm going to buy puts. It's just the reality of the matter here, guys. Probably a month or two out, expiration. But either way, man, if it gets to 75, 80, I think I can make money on this coming back down to the 50s, low 50s, even down in the 60s at that point. You know what I mean? So that would be a profitable trade, at least in my opinion, but we just got to nail the timing. That's the thing with options and shorting or puts, buying puts. I don't really short necessarily, but when I'm buying puts, timing is key with options, with puts, everything like that. So again, I'm not bearish on this company forever. I'm not shorting it to zero, but I think it's just a little overbought in the short term. And I'm going to give it a couple of days. We got some big news yesterday. Once this fizzles out a little bit, I think that's when it'll be the opportunity to strike on OKLO. And I think Cisco, we covered Cisco in the earlier video, or not Cisco. Geez, what was it? Oracle. Geez, big mix up there. Oracle as well. This is one that I'm also considering buying puts on in due time. The stock's up 14% today, and it's just like a freaking moonshot right now. This is like a rocket ship going up, complete moonshot. I think it's, earnings were great, right? Blah, blah, blah. But I think the stock's a bit too overbought in the short term, and we've seen time and time again, look, the stock got really hot here back in January, and look at this epic drop afterwards from 195 all the way to 150. Think about how much money you could have made buying puts here. I think a similar scenario is going to play out this go around. Not that it's going to dump and start downtrending, because there's no doubt we're uptrending, we're breaking out on the stock. Oracle is reversing, there's no doubt. But the fact that it's just way overbought makes me want to buy puts. Short and simple. And I think we could potentially start to make a move back down 175, 180, and that's where the money could be made. So those are just two stocks I'm looking to maybe buy puts on. Not today, maybe not even this week, but probably next week, some trade ideas. As again, all my longs have just been crushing it. Might have to get some shorts in there, some puts. We'll see how it goes. But again, you could get burned buying options, just because you buy a stock or buy options, put options, doesn't mean the stock's going to go down right away. Your timing could be off, you know what I mean? Which is why I'm being very careful. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Join my free email stock newsletter. And check out the Patreon if you guys want to keep up with what I'm doing in my portfolio, buys, all the options moves, investments I'm making. We're investing thousands of dollars a month, and we're beating the market since starting that portfolio on Patreon. It is linked down below if you guys are interested. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video.